Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Thursday, 24th July 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. ECCB holds Monetary Council meeting in Barbuda for the first time. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. In a historic first, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's 111th Monetary Council meeting was held on the island of Barbuda, marking a major milestone for the smallest island community in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Miriam Montoute of the DBS News World reports.
The Monetary Council of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, or ECCB, convened last week in Barbuda, welcoming Premier Cora Richardson Hodge of Anguilla to her first meeting. The council praised her as a trailblazer for gender equity in the region.
It is clear, although my time as chair of the Monetary Council has been brief, it is clear that there has been a lot of work that has been conducted over the past year, and that there is much more work to be done.
Governor Timothy Antoine reported that the global economy is slowing, with the IMF projecting just 2.8% growth in 2025. However, the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union is still expected to grow at about 3.3%, with leaders holding on to the goal of 7% annual growth to double regional economies over the next decade.
We're hoping that we could get at least 10 years of economic stability with strong growth, in order to ensure that our countries become more resilient and that we can provide resilient prosperity for the people of the OECS Currency Union.
The ECCB's backing ratio stands strong at 97.5%, with reserves rising to $5.5 billion. A proposal to invest a portion of those reserves in US dollar-denominated securities to spur economic growth, coined the Big Push, is now under active review.
The central bank is already very heavily invested in US securities, to the tune of about $2 billion US dollars. The call by Prime Minister Brown last evening when he assumed the chair for us to look at other possibilities, including the use of a limited portion of reserve, is now under study by our central bank. And as Prime Minister Brown, the chairman, just indicated, we will have a follow-up discussion as part of the Big Push and financing the Big Push on this issue. So we have some more work to do, which we will do, and we will, of course, bring our views, our findings and our recommendations back to the Council in due course.
Monetary and financial conditions remain stable, with the region seeing the fastest growth in household lending since 2020. Meanwhile, the regional government securities market has hit a milestone, raising $20 billion to date. Leaders also discussed strengthening the region's citizenship by investment program amid international scrutiny, while approving steps to create a regional financial stability committee to guard against systematic risk.
As you're all aware, these programs have become the subject of some concerns by the North Americans and the Europeans. And there's such important sources of non-cash revenue that we're doing all we can to ensure that we strengthen them and to give our international partners the full commitment that these programs do not represent a threat to them in any way.
Financial inclusion efforts are progressing, with simplified bank account opening processes now in place across the ECCU, ensuring that all residents can access the banking system with minimal red tape. And on the topic of the EC dollar, officials confirmed that Queen Elizabeth's second image will soon be phased out. By 2027, new banknotes featuring national heroes from each member country will begin circulating. With robust discussions, renewed optimism, and strategic reforms ahead, the ECCB is charting a path toward greater financial resilience for the Eastern Caribbean. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoot reporting.
Retired Deputy Police Commissioner Dr. Paul Williams has officially joined the Partnership for National Unity APNU in Guyana, emerging as one of the coalition's newest and most outspoken candidates ahead of the upcoming elections. Travis Chase of HGP Nightly News has more.
Retired Deputy Police Commissioner Paul Williams, who was overlooked by the People's Progressive Party civic government for the role of Commissioner of Police, is one of the new faces that has emerged as a candidate for the Partnership for National Unity. Dr. Paul Williams, in addressing the thousands gathered at the Melanie Market Square for a rally held by the APNU, explained why he moved from policing to politics.
It's because after listening to this wicked government continuously telling you people that you don't have leaders. You don't have leaders. And I was waiting for the opportunity to finish my service and now to step up to show that we have leaders.
The retired policeman who finally broke his silence on why he was not appointed Commissioner of Police said he had refused to be a candidate for wickedness and corruption for the PPP regime.
And I've done everything that is right, with integrity, with honesty, and in keeping with what it requires. But they see it fit to set me aside because they know I would not have been one of their candidates for wickedness and corruption.
Without referencing the 2025 United States International Narcotics Control Strategy Report, which states that corruption within law enforcement, bribery and nepotism in the public sector and political entities further complicate the fight against drug trafficking, Mr. Williams further accused the government of using and destroying the Guyana police force.
Destroy every fabric of the culture that is built by our persons, our predecessors. They have destroyed all the camaraderie and everything in the force. They have burned bridges with those retired senior officers, both from the joint services, and who could have still lent a helping hand in terms of bringing them through these situations and circumstances. But no, they need those who they can make puppets and those who can go with their bids and continue with the wrong. And still you want to see those people serving you? No way.
Mr. Williams urged youths especially to stay away from crime, not to fall into the traps of the police, and that they should cease responding to street names such as Scrapes and Killer. On the issue of contracts, Mr. Williams posited that not only will the APNU government give contracts, but contracts that can sustain lives.
Some of you feel good because, you know why? I get in a little bread, I get in a little food. Come on, man. Anytime you just depending on getting a little bread and a little food, you are allowing somebody to dictate your life. How you eat, how you sleep, where you go, despite you're adults. Why you want a little food? I think by now you should be thinking you want to cook a pot of food so you could share, you could give. That is what you need to think of. Not no pot of food, not no little food or a eat of bread. Come on. There's much more than that. And APNU is going to give you that opportunity.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Some of the Caribbean's most pressing challenges, from economic instability and climate shock to the integration of artificial intelligence, will be tackled at the Caribbean World of Work Forum 2025. Jason John of TTT News reports.
Through spirited dialogue and hands-on collaboration, the Caribbean World of Work Forum 2025, hosted by the Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies, CCLCS, became a vibrant hub for reimagining the region's future of work. According to Managing Director of the Lloyd Best Institute of the West Indies, Suniti Maraj, long before formal systems of power were acknowledged, Caribbean people, especially the marginalized, survived and thrived through solidarity and social care. She noted the strength of the region does not lie in policy, but in the power of people working together.
It was a Gayab system, it was a Susu, it was a Panchayat, it was a council of elders, it was community care and love and responsibility. These people were not in power. They didn't have the right to vote until 1946. Yet, for centuries, they survived the worst tortures possible to bring their children and their descendants into the modern era.
Minister of Labour, Social Security and Third Sector of Barbados, Colin Jordan, highlighted that social enterprises support organizations that focus on developing people. He said these organizations are able to reach places government cannot and can forge relationships with grassroots organizations.
There is no amount of money that you can pay to a public officer to generate in that person, as well-meaning as they are, the passion that is found in persons who are involved in leading civil society organizations.
The forum also tackled the rise of artificial intelligence, weighing its potential to transform sectors like education while raising concerns about its impact on human connection. Economist David Abdullah emphasized that AI, if guided by community values, could enhance learning without compromising the people-first principles of the social and solidarity economy.
So that our young people will learn not from somebody standing up in a classroom speaking for 45 minutes or whatever it is, but or from reading books, which young people don't necessarily do, but through a creative process of audiovisual material and that kind of thing. And AI can assist the production of that audiovisual material very, very easily and quickly.
The forum continues at the Cipriani College Valsain campus, where it focuses on themes such as resilience, transformation and modernization, and sustainability. Jason John, TTT News.
Canada is seeing an upsurge in requests for asylum by Haitians from the United States as a result of the hostile policy changes by the Trump administration.
The Canada Border Services Agency has documented 761 asylum claims at the St. Bernard-de-la-Colle border crossing in just the first 6 days of July. France Andre, who works to help Haitians integrate into Canada, says that currently he's been contacted by many Haitians in the United States.
I'm getting, I would say, every day about 10 to 20 calls. It started as early in October last year when Donald Trump was talking about Haitians eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio, and that came all the way here. People already saw where Mr. Trump was going to go, and there was already a movement of people calling me and see how can I get to Canada.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillean Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service. success guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.